Hey guys, what's up? It's Zach, and I'm back today with another video, except we're doing something new today with a list. And in today's list, we are covering the 5 things you should have before you buy your first bike. Now, these aren't in any real order of importance except for number 5, which is the most important, so make sure to watch to the end. And if you think there's something I missed or you don't agree with, then let me know in the comments below. But anyways, let's get into it. So this is number 1 of the things you should have before you go and buy a motorcycle, and definitely one of the more important ones. You're going to want to go get yourself a license. Yes, a lot of people just say, what license? You know, you got to catch up to me, whatever, whenever they run. However, having a license just saves you a lot of headache, and the headache is mostly getting pulled over. Or if you try to go do something, they're always going to want to know if you have a motorcycle license. Say if you want to join a law-abiding club or any kind of club life, a lot of the times they're going to want you to be legal. Now, to get the license here in Alabama, all you have to do is just take a test. Luckily for me, I'm smart, and I went online and I took a bunch of sample tests, and I took about 10 of them, and I was able to go and get my license on the first try. But another thing about Alabama is you don't have to go take an MSF course. However, our local Harley Davidson does have that where you can go and do it. However, I didn't. I was already riding dirt bikes at that point pretty heavily. So I kind of knew, one or two things about motorcycles to where I was confident enough about how to keep it up, not crash my first time out, even though that almost did happen. Hashtag I'm not the smartest person in the world. But for the average person, the MSF course is going to be very helpful in the process of getting your license. And I know in some places you have to go and complete the course to get said license. So again, that is one thing I didn't personally have to worry about when getting my license. So luckily, all I did was just go up there, get it, go back to my house, go to my motorcycle, and then I was legal. But it's never a bad idea to have extra help in learning how to ride a bike, especially like a course like that. So overall, having your license is going to be one of the more important things you're going to need in the process to getting your first bike. Number 2, and for a lot of people, they don't think about this, and that is going to be the funds to get said bike. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, well, I could go get a used bike. Well, you can save some money and go get a used bike. However, you could get a clunker. You could get something that has something horribly messed up that you'll never be able to repair yourself without taking it to a shop. Or you're going to be in for the cost of having to buy a completely brand new engine or another major component of the bike. So buying new is good. You can get a good deal on a new bike, and you can also get a good deal on a used bike. It really depends on what you're looking for. Now, I know a lot of people can't go out and buy a brand new, say, R1, the ZX14, or an H2 if you just got the money for it. Sure, whatever. And if you do have the money, go for it. If you want to, get an H2 for your first bike, because here in Alabama, you get 1000cc at 16. So you can go and get whatever you want. However, make sure your pockets can actually handle that amount, because I have been blessed where I have paid out of pocket for all my bikes up front, and I don't have any notes on any of my bikes or any of my possessions. However, for some people, it's just not in the cards, and you're going to have to wind up taking that payment. And you don't want to wind up biting off more than you can chew. Now, there's nothing wrong with going and getting, say, a 400. I think it's like $8,000 brand new right now, unless you get like the double R Kawasaki 400. I think those are ranging towards $10,000. You can go get a very nice used bike from a dealer. They're going to mark it up a little bit. Yeah, it's a little extra. However, if you're one to worry about that kind of stuff, you can go and get a warranty through them for your used bike. That way, if anything major, happens to the bike in your first couple thousand miles or however long of a warranty they're going to give you, you're covered. You don't have to worry about it. However, getting a new bike, you can still have issues like that. Say you get a 400 and in
3 months you now want a 600 because the 400 isn't fast enough, or you want to again go buy an H2 because you just want to go fast, you can wind up bottoms up on your trade-in or your bike, because now you're trying to most likely sell your bike to pay off that note to go get a new note, or you're going to trade in that bike toward the new one, and they're not going to give you what's left on the note of the bike. So you have to be wary any way you go, used or new, but just make sure that whatever you want to get is going to be within your price range, and don't overdo it. Maybe don't go get an H2 for your first bike. That's probably a good idea. Number 3 is most definitely going to have to be, you need to know what you want when you go into that dealer, or when you go to Facebook Marketplace, or preferably not Craigslist, but if you go to Craigslist, you're probably asking for different troubles, and I can't help you there. But anyways, you're going to want to know what kind of bike you want. Are you wanting a cruiser? Are you wanting an adventure bike like a BMW Africa? Are you going to want a sports bike, say a R6, a Gixxer 750, an H2? Again, probably don't get an H2 for your first bike. I'm going to keep saying that over and over just because I know some people that have. However, getting a 1000cc isn't going to be all bad as your first bike if you respect it. That's down the line in a later topic we'll get to. Now, the reason you need to know what kind of bike you're wanting, because if you're wanting something sporty, you're going to want to go fast, and the dealer tries to talk you into a Harley Sportster, you might like the sound of it. You're like, oh, well, it'll do 100 and something miles an hour for a Harley. It's going to be one of the fastest Harleys you can get on the market, blah, 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 blah. Whatever. They're going to try to sell you on anything they can make a buck off of. However, you might, in a few months, decide, hey, I don't actually like this, and I should have gotten a sports bike. However, the dealer / my buddy talked me into getting this, and now I don't like it. Always make sure you do the most amount of digging and information grabbing that you will need to figure out what you want. Say, if you already have your license, or your buddy lets you go and take his bike somewhere where you're not going to possibly hurt yourself, by all means, go for it. If he lets you go out to a local parking lot that's big enough and you want to try out, say, his R6, then by all means, and that'll let you have a kind of a feel for what you want. Say, if you're making long journeys and you're going cross country, you might not want a brand new R1 as the bike you're going to take all the way around cross country. Now, on the other end of it, you could be on a sports bike and you don't enjoy how they feel, how they ride. You might like the power, however, you might be telling yourself, hey, you know, I want to take it a little easier. My back's getting tired. You might be getting older and you want to get into the bike life, but you want to go around and you want to cruise and enjoy, you know, more bar hopping, if you will. Then a cruiser might be better for you than a sports bike. You're going to want to make sure that you're not spending all of your money on a bike that you're not fully going to enjoy. Because at the end of the day, you're going to have to ride this bike a lot. And the more you ride the bike, the more flaws you're going to find in it. Number 4, something you're going to have to vary into the cost of the bike you're riding gear. And yes, I do mean actually wear your gear. I'm not some squid that's just going to run around in flip-flops, a t-shirt, and shorts. No, you need to actually wear something to wear. If you go down, which it eventually will happen, even if you're standing still to light, it's going to hurt and it's going to suck. But it will happen, and if it doesn't happen, then you need to go play the lottery, because you obviously have more luck than 99% of the riding community. Now, when I mean riding gear, I don't mean you need to go out and buy a $6,000 to a $1,000 carbon fiber helmet. There's just no need for that. You don't need to go buy the newest Alpine Stars, this, that, and the other. Because at the end of the day, you might be spending too much money and you're going to put it all on and go out here in the Alabama heat or wherever you are, and then you're going to have a heat stroke. And it's just overall not going to be a fun time for you at all. And I do not recommend overwearing gear. And yes, you can overwear gear. People are going to maybe make fun of me in the comments, argue with me about it. However, you can have a heat stroke in 100-degree weather. out here. I've seen it happen. If you get too hot, you're not going to be able to ride, and you might injure yourself or other people. However, what you do need to be wearing, you need to be wearing closed-toed shoes. That is going to be one of the biggest issues that people have, is just not wearing proper shoes. You can wear a low, or you can wear ankle huggers if you want. However, either way, you're most likely going to injure some part of your foot. That is the most injured portion of a person's body when they're in a motorcycle accident. 2, you're going to want to wear some kind of pants. Don't wear shorts. I wear Carhartts. They're very thick. I've had them stop a chainsaw whenever I was cutting some stuff up. So I personally recommend some kind of blue jean to Carhartt-ish material. And if you don't, and I just hope that your legs are going to come not looking like grated cheese off the side of the road or something. 3, wear some kind of gloves. Some people don't like gloves. Typically, I'm not a glove person myself. However, I know the importance of my hands. And personally, I really like my hands. You know, I like playing video games. I like going and having fun with my friends. I really like riding my bike, in which case, you will need your hands to do so. I've personally never seen someone with a prosthetic arm riding a motorcycle, so please make sure you wear some gloves. You know, if something happens to your arm, something happens to your arm. However, your hands, man, that's just gonna suck. You gotta eat, you gotta hold stuff, sign your name. Wear some gloves, man. Don't let your hands wind up looking like Leatherface's face, or Freddy Krueger's face. I think that's a better representation, definitely Freddy Krueger's face. But anyways, besides the point, wear some gloves, man. Don't be dumb. And lastly, your helmet choice. If you're on a sports bike, I've seen it, and it does not make sense to me at all. Don't wear just a baseball cap style helmet if you're on a sports bike. I've seen it. Because at this rate of speed, if you're trying to do 150 miles an hour and you go off on your bike, at least a full face helmet will actually save the side of your face. If you wear a baseball cap style or a half shell, whatever they call it, I'm sorry, I don't ride Harleys or cruisers, so I'm not familiar with the terms, your face is going to wind up looking mangled if you're okay at all, honestly. And I personally, I kind of like my face, I'm not the best looking, don't get me wrong, but I like my face, man. I like it not all messed up. Now, I've had a bicycle wreck where I completely skinned the whole side of my face, and I do not personally want to do that again. So, in short, make sure you wear all your gear, or you just wear some gear. Don't go out like a squid, man, because it's going to suck, and you're going to hate your life when you're having to sit there and put lotion on all your scabs, bruises, or, put on your carbon fiber leg because something awful happened. So, make sure you wear your gear. Now, number 5, I want to say, is the most important thing you should have before going and getting a motorcycle, is the maturity to actually ride the motorcycle. Now, you might be older, however, that doesn't mean anything when you're taking off like a bat out of hell through traffic, your lane splitting and everything. Something bad can happen to you at all times. Something bad could happen to me right now with this car turning. You never know what's going to happen, and putting yourself into traffic, lane splitting. I've personally seen a 16-year-old on a 1K doing wheelies at over 100 miles an hour through every single gear in my town. And I went to catch up with him, and you know what I said to myself? I'm good. Because he's only going to eventually wind up getting himself hurt. It might be today, it might not be tomorrow. However, eventually, his luck's going to catch up with him. And I don't want that to happen to me. So even though, yes, I can go fast, and yes, I do go fast, I'm not saying that I don't break some laws here and there. However, there is a time and a place to do these things. Say, if you want to go 180, wait till you go to the interstate. Wait till you go to a country road that's a mile, mile and a half long, and there's no one there, no kids, no possible cars or anything like that. Because if you wind up hurting yourself, or even worse, hurting someone else, you are going to be responsible for the rest of your life of the implications of what you've done. Now, this doesn't mean you're gonna wind up hurting someone or hurt yourself. You could get lucky. However, you need to have the maturity to actually go put your leg over that bike and not go and do a wheelie into the side of someone's car. You know, I'm not saying that it will happen. However, you don't want that to happen, because if it does, you can wind up hurting yourself, hurting someone else, losing your motorcycle, or at worst, losing your life. And if that happens, then, I mean, you definitely can't ride your bike anymore. So yes, please make sure that you are mature enough to actually go and ride the bike. And if you're not, then you should most likely take some time, maybe go buy a dirt bike and just go have fun out the middle of the sticks. It is a lot better to go and crash on something slow like that than it is to go get on something this big, to go down the road and hurt yourself. So in short, please just don't be a child about it. This is a serious thing, and if you hurt yourself, it could be very, very bad for you.
Oh hey, look, you made it through the whole video. It wasn't that bad now, was it? Anyways, I appreciate you watching the whole video. Tell me in the comments, again, which one was your favorite? Which one don't you agree with? But as always, I hope you like, subscribe, and turn your notifications on so you can see my further videos. But anyways, I'm Zach, and I appreciate you for watching.